Hey gang, Chad Allen here, and welcome to Firechild Video Blender Tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at a cool material, how to make a nice gold material that I feel is pretty good use for a gold ring like this, a wedding band, but I mean, we're going to teach you how to use the material. Now, this tutorial here posted on YouTube is going to be a short kind of speed version to get you through really quickly. If you want a full in-depth version of the tutorial covering everything from step 1 through far beyond what we're going to do here in this tutorial, head on over to firechildvideo.blogspot.com for the complete in-depth tutorial. Like I said, this one we're just going to fly through it. I may do some things that you may not be able to keep up with, keystrokes you may not know, but I'm under a tight time constriction for the YouTube video, so I'm going to do this one kind of fast. If you need a little more in-depth and a little more explanation, and you want to take this design even further, like I said, head over firechildvideo.blogspot.com. Okay, enough for the self-promotion, let's get started. Let's minimize that. Well, what I have here is I've already set up the starter scene. I've got a curved backdrop, a seamless backdrop. I've got 3 lamps set up in pretty much a 3-point lighting, real simple 3-point lighting setup, nothing fancy. We'll explain all of that in the Firechild tutorial. Okay, first step we need to do is we need to create our ring. So we're going to create the ring. There's a bunch of different ways to do this that I'll cover in the other tutorial. The way we're going to do it here for the YouTube is with a circle. So we're going to add a mesh. Get rid of the tool set. Tab to go into edit mode. Let me turn on vertex. And then we need to extrude it. So we're going to hit E to extrude and then immediately hit escape. Now what we're going to do is hit S to scale, and we're going to scale it out. You don't want to go too crazy, just enough, and then we'll deselect it, select everything, go to side view, and extruded it out again, and select everything, stay in side view, and we'll just drag it up and set it right on top of our plane. So now I've got this let's go ahead and set the camera up, G, drag it, and just make it a little, Shift F. I'm just gonna position the camera a little bit, just for the hell of it. There we go. Now if we render, that looks like crap, right? So now we need to add a modifier, subdivision surface, give it 3 is pretty good. Now you start to see we're starting to get the shape. And we can go ahead and pull up our tool tab and smooth it out. Oh, we've got some problem with normals. Now, the way to fix this when you hit smooth is to go back in, make sure everything's selected, hit Control N, and that'll recalculate your normals. We're good. Now, this looks pretty good, except that it's curved on the inside. We don't want that because rings are not curved on the inside, they're flat. So we'll add a loop cut by hitting Control R, drag that one up into place, Control R to add another one, drag that one down, and I'm going to add one. You know what, let me try something. Oh, wrong way. Let's try about right there. Nah. Tell you what, let's just see what that looks like if I render it. Yeah. See, so now we got a decent shape. Might want to add one to the top, just in the middle, and then add another one here. Escape, top view. The one we just added, we're going to scale it out a little bit just to give it that arc. Let's see what that looks like. Yes, looking good. Okay, now the meat and potatoes part, the texturing. So with our ring selected, we're going to add a new material. We're going to call this gold. And now you can pick the colors you want to pick for this, because depending on what colors you pick here, you can have chrome, bronze, many different things. These are the colors that, in my experimentation, kind of work the best. 0.52 and 0.13. And we'll change that to Orinaire. I guess that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, hey, somebody correct me. Specularity is fine, but we're going to actually increase that and bump this up to about 90. Now we're going to need to have a mirror turned on and bump up that reflectivity and change the color to 6, 7. Now if you're wondering how I know what colors to use, like I said, I experimented before we did this. It's called practice. Alright, so now we've got that set up. Let's set that to Fong. Alright. Next step is we need to give it something. We need to give it something to reflect. So we can go over to our textures tab, add a new texture, image or movie. We're going to open. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go Google and Google free HDR or HDRI images. Or if you want to pay for them, that's fine too. But you need to get some HDR images. Like I've got one right here. They're all over the net. I'm sure you'll be able to find them with no problem. I'm going to go ahead and load my HDRI image. You can see it there. I'm going to go down here, change the coordinates to reflection. And you can use tube or sphere. We'll go ahead and use, you know what, we'll stick with, yeah, we'll go sphere. And we're going to actually, where is it? We need to pre-multiply. That's helpful. And we don't want it to influence the color. We want it to influence the mirror, but we don't want that insanely high. So we're in that somewhere in there, like 3.3, something like that. And change it from under image mapping from repeat to clip. And that should take care of that. But we also need to set the world up. For the world, we'll say ambient occlusion. We'll go 0.5. We'll knock it down. Maybe bump up the samples 7 or 8. And then we need to add a world reflection, something for it to be reflecting in the world. So after you've clicked on the world tab, go back into this, and we're going to add a world reflect. I'm going to add image or movie. Go down here. We're going to use the same image. And pre-multiply is on. Good. Change our coordinates from view to ANG map. And then go to the bottom. And we don't want to blend. We want horizon. And that gives us something that looks like that. But once it's there, as you're about to see. Now, after all I did, it's going to take a while to render. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and skip forward and show you the finished product. Alright, so there's the finished product. We got this really cool reflective gold material going on here. Everything looks really cool. You can actually add, I mean, now this is completely up to you, but you can add subsurface scattering, and you can play around with these settings, and that'll actually give you an even better look. I'm not going to render it because that's, well, here, I'll show you. It's going to take a while to render that. Well, you know what? I'm already rendering it, so let me just skip ahead, and you can see what it looks like with subsurf scattering. There you go. Now that is one good-looking gold material, right? Again, I'm showing you how to make like a gold wedding band. You can take it a step further and, you know, add in some Elvish writing if that's your thing. But I got to agree with Kevin Smith and the Clerks 2 line. There's only one return, and it ain't of the king; it's of the Jedi. So I'm not going to do the one ring precious thing here. So you get a wedding band out of me. But you can, I mean, the material itself, you can apply to pretty much anything. Rotate X, bring that up, go back into this, bring it up, bring it over, down, rotate X, 15, oop, rotate X. You know, I'm not explaining how I'm doing this because I'm just doing this to show you an example. Smooth, and then, oops, let's actually give it the gold material, and pause for a second. How about that, huh? Like I said, this gold material works for a variety of means. Suzanne has never looked so good. Well, that's about it for this YouTube version. I'm running out of time here, but I just wanted to say one more time, for more in-depth coverage of this tutorial, for more techniques, more tricks, and step-by-step, a little more step-by-step than this one was, head over to firechildvideo.blogspot.com. I'll probably throw the name up here, and there'll probably be a link in the description down below. Head over there, check out the videos. There's this one, there's many more. There's definitely something for you to learn, something for you to enjoy, and make some really cool effects. I'm off to go see how much I can pawn a gold-plated monkey head for. See you later.